Major League Baseball has finalized a new memo to go down for foreign substances. Foreign substances have been going on for quite a while now in Major League Baseball. And last offseason, they attempted as well to try to crack down on using foreign substances for pitchers, but it didn't work. And as well, last offseason, they went back to the old baseball and they did not use the juice baseball anymore, which as a result has hurt it hitting a lot this year. And you've still got great hitters this year. There's still been a lot of great hitters this year. Fernando Tatis Jr., Juan Soto, or not really Juan Soto this year, but Ronald Acuna, Vladimir Guerrero. There's been a lot of great hitters this year, even with the new baseballs. In today's video, we're going to talk about MLB is looking to crack down on foreign substances, and we'll start the enhance of enforcement of foreign substances rules will start June 21st, which is June 15th right now, so 6 days. And they are planning to start the 10-day suspensions for foreign substance use as well, like the minor leagues have already been doing, because 4 starting pitchers in the minor leagues have been suspended for foreign substances already. And that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. But before I get into this video, 88% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. So go ahead and get your life together and hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like on this video. Subscribe, turn notifications, and leave a like. And let's go ahead and get into this video. So, pitchers have been using foreign substances for a while. Everybody knows about the Michael Pineda, and he had pine tar all over his neck. And so, if we look here, an ex-MLB clubhouse manager in Bubba Harkins, who did deny in this interview that he didn't give foreign substances out. But here's what he mentioned: a number of notable names in this interview, including Garrett Cole, Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, Corey Kluber, and Adam Wainwright. 4 of these pitchers have been one of the best pitchers over the last decade in Major League Baseball. And Garrett Cole, Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander has definitely something a little weird was going on with him, as old as he was and as good as he was. And all of these pitchers still have talent. It's not like they just have absolutely no talent besides using a foreign substance. But yeah, those are some of the 5 names, probably the most popular names that wanted a foreign substance from him, and other players asked as well for a foreign substance. And Harkins was fired in March of 2020 by the Angels when they found out about this foreign substance, and he's actually filed a lawsuit against the Angels and the league. And so Garrett Cole, we've all saw the interview with him. He looks stupid there. He's one player that I think definitely is using a foreign substance. You look at spin rate, everything proves that Garrett Cole is possibly using, or probably is using, a foreign substance. And just look at this interview. And this was with a bunch of ums as well there. So that has to tell you something. So here's what he said on possibly using spider tack while pitching. And spider tack is a substance that's really sticky, and it's going to make the ball spin a lot more. And with a lot of ums in here too. You can go watch the interview for yourself, but I don't know. But he said, I don't know quite how to answer that, to be honest. If MLB wants to legislate some more stuff, that's a conversation that we can have, and that's kind of what he said. That just was not a good interview at all. And obviously he was called out by Josh Donaldson as well. And also when Giovanni Gallegos in a game, his hat was confiscated, and his manager Mike Schilt said that this is baseball's dirty secret, and it's the wrong time in the wrong arena to expose it, after umpire Joe West confiscated relief pitcher Giovanni Gallegos' hat. Now, good thing for this is that these players are probably not going to get suspended for what they did previously, which is good for them. Obviously, there's been a lot of cases of this year, and it seems to be a new clip coming out every night about a possible person using a foreign substance. We've seen John Means, we've seen, obviously, Garrett Cole, and we've seen a lot more using foreign substances. Even Dylan Bundy have been using foreign substances. And also, we've got to talk about Trevor Bauer and him, because he gave up a bunch of runs in one start, and it just happens to be after Major League Baseball crack down on these foreign substances and really kind of put a memo out there for foreign substances. And that's very interesting because a lot of people have had this as well. Garrett Cole's another one who had a bad start versus the Rays after a foreign substance thing came out, and they lost 12-1. Now, it wasn't a particularly bad start for Trevor Bauer. It was just not a great one. He pitched 6 1/3 innings, gave up 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. He pitched good until the 7th, going into the 7th inning. And that's when he really just did horribly. And the Dodgers pitchers are possibly one of the ones that will get hurt the most, with all their spin rates on the team basically going up this year, possibly with a foreign substance. And so MLB players caught using foreign substances will face a 10-day suspension. Now, a lot of players will not get caught for this foreign substance thing. They're going to be pretty sneaky. They're not going to get caught with it. And that's going to be pretty big for them, because there's going to be some players getting suspended left and right, I think. A lot of players going to be suspended, I think. Now, they're going to be cracking down on this on June 21st, and it's expected to begin June 21st. So it's expected to start in a few days here. And you've got to look at the spin rates. They're going to be using stats as well to kind of back up their points here. And that's going to be big for them as well. And so here's kind of what they're trying to do. Their enhanced enforcement of the rule will include umpires making regular checks of all pitchers regardless of on whether an opposing club's manager makes a request. So an opposing club's manager can make a request on whether he thinks possibly they are using a foreign substance or not. So that's very interesting there. Anyone found to be in violation of the rules will be ejected from the game, obviously, and receive a 10-game suspension, which will probably make them miss 1 to 2 starts. And with repeat offenders subject to progressive discipline. So there's going to be some people that get caught multiple times. And those are going to be the players that are getting more and more talked about. And a player that's not getting talked about very much, that's actually doing well, though, will not get caught for these foreign substances. It's mainly going to be the big names of baseball that have been talked about for these foreign substances that are really going to get caught using them. And the hitting's going to be much better. And is it a coincidence that the hitting has been so much better over the last few days since this enhanced enforcement came out of the foreign substances, and the hitting has got so much better? And honestly, it needed to be better. It seriously did. It was just not, because hitters could not hit worth a crap this year. And yes, they were still very good hitters this year, but still, hitting's going to be a lot better now, especially that you've got the foreign substance rules here. And people don't want to get suspended for 1 or 2 starts. If you're looking at a guy like, I don't know, Danny Duffy, who's going to be a free agent coming up, he's not going to want to get caught for a foreign substance if he's using one. And I'm not saying he is using one, but if he gets out for 2 starts, that could really hurt him in free agency a little bit. Not to mention that he's already pretty injury prone himself. So that's going to be pretty big there. And this will prevent a lot of players from using foreign substances, and this will help a lot. Just the idea of a memo out there will help a lot. Will help this problem out in Major League Baseball a ton. And recently a retired pitcher said that 80 to 90% of current pitchers are using some form of sticky stuff. Now, not every pitcher is going to be using the same stuff. The Rays might have a really good one, but the Orioles may have a terrible foreign substance out there. I'm not saying that they are using a foreign substance, but they can have a different kind of foreign substance out there, and every team does. But they're just looking for the best of that foreign substance that's going to make the pitcher the best possible with that foreign substance. And it's kind of been known that possibly Trevor Bauer got signed to the Dodgers with such a big contract, not only because of his pitching, but they possibly could have had access to that foreign substance there. That was a pretty good foreign substance from what it's looking like. Because if we look at his spin, I mean, we even saw Garrett Cole last season, his hand stuck to his hat. I think it was last season, maybe even this season. His hand stuck to his hat. That was about as obvious as it gets. Now, Trevor Bauer has said that 2,800 would be his spin if he used a foreign substance on his fastball. If we look at his four-seam fastball in 2021, his spin is 2,815. That's his spin. His cutter has 2,901, over 3,000 for his slider, over 3,000 for his curveball, 2,643 for his sinker, and like 1,900 for his changeup this year. So he's definitely, and I mean his substance has even went up. Like his numbers have even went up since 2020, but his spin rate went progressively down in his last start. If we look at Garrett Cole here, we all know about Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole this year compared to his 2020 stats. In 2021, his spin rate for his fastball has over 2,500 RPM. His slider has 2,700 RPM. His curveball has 2,800 RPM. His changeup has 1,700 RPM and 2,480 for his sinker. So his curveball definitely is getting a lot of spin on it, but it's gone up since last year. The curveball has not went up incredibly much, but it's went up, and all of his pitches have went up since last year. And even Shane Bieber might be a case for the Cleveland baseball team. He was a solid pitcher before, but he elevated himself in 2020. And with plenty of time to create a new substance in the 2020 lockdown, then it's definitely as possible here. Now, if we look at his spin rate, he only has 2,300 on his fastball, 2,400 on his curveball, 2,600 on his slider, 1,750 on his changeup, and 2,600 on his cutter. Compared to in 2020, actually his fastballs went down this year with but still. So Shane Bieber could be another one there. There's a lot of pitchers though, and they've actually got to catch him using the foreign substance, which is going to be awfully hard. There have been some obvious ones, like John Means was pretty obvious, and there's going to be some obvious ones, but it's going to be hopefully hard to catch him for it. And only 10 games seems a week to me, and I think it said with pay too was going to be the rule. And if that's the case, then this is an absolute joke. Now, starting pitchers will have more than one mandatory check per game, while relievers will be checked either at the conclusion of the inning in which he entered the game or when he is removed from the game, wherever occurs first. Catchers will also receive routine inspections. Position players will be subject to inspection if an umpire observes conduct consistent with the use of a foreign substance by a pitcher. So we've seen a lot of pitchers already possibly using a foreign substance here, and it's going to be hard to catch them. And a 10-game suspension seems a little like a slap on the hand to me. It doesn't seem like a lot at all. You're only going to be missing 2 starts, and they're probably just going to keep on doing it. They're just going to find a better way to hide it, and it's going to be awfully hard to catch them because they're going to make sure to make it less and less obvious. But it will make the hitting better just because of a foreign substance memo being out there. So I think it's going to help and kind of hurt at the same time. But even though here's a take I've got, that even though you may say, oh yeah, they are professional athletes, which they are, it was still a lot unfair this year. Especially it's been a lot unfair for them. They for one have baseballs that are not juiced, plus pitchers using a foreign substance to get extra spin on the ball, and they can't half hit it, which I totally understand. I couldn't hit it either, not even come close. And yeah, I mean, I think that there's going to be some pitchers that do get caught, but I wouldn't get my hopes up on this totally being the end of it because some pitchers, it's not like pitchers are just totally going to take a downfall. By the way, when there's not a foreign substance around, because there's still some very good pitchers out there, and a lot are not going to get caught, and still 70% of pitchers, if not more, are probably using a foreign substance, and it's going to be awfully hard to catch all of them. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications, because like I said, 88% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. So go ahead and get your life together and hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like. Thank you for watching, and peace.